Lucas here with N2V Solutions. We're going to do a quick unboxing here of the NanoBeam M5. This is a device you would use if you wanted to connect two locations with point-to-point wireless network extender. I think that's a good way to say it. What it comes with is a compact form factor with integrated radio and antenna, innovative plug-and-play design for quick installation, highly efficient antenna beam performance, powered by advanced airMAX technology. So this is proprietary to Unifi, and this is what comes in it. And so we'll flip this over and we'll open her up, and you'll get to see what's actually in it. In the box comes with the NanoBeam itself, wrapped with protective plastic, and it comes with a built-in leveler so you can level it as you're putting it up, making sure it's straight. It's got a protective cover to protect the PoE injected Ethernet port, and it slides right back on. This part is for your joint that allows you to adjust it. So that's what these pieces are for. If you take that guy and, am I doing that right? That goes together, something like that, and we'll go over that a little bit later. And then this piece mounts on your beam. Back in the box, you get the little start guide, as well as a pipe clamp to go around for mounting, and a PoE injector with a power cord. The pipe clamp connects to the end of the joint here, and that's what holds your device up. It also comes with a wall mount kit that we don't have here. No, that's the
it's an additional piece.
It's an additional piece that comes with the bigger wall mount kit. So there's a wall bracket mount that comes with the wall mount kit for putting it on roofs and walls and things like that. We're going to go ahead and take two of these and point them at each other so you guys can see what it looks like. So this is the Nano on the wall mount kit. The wall mount kit is a separate purchase from the Nano, and this is also a separate purchase. It is a literal wall mount for just the NanoBeam. But this wall mount is more for a rooftop at the side of a house. This one will allow you to adjust based on wherever you want to put it. So if you have to put it on a roof, on the side of the roof, you can angle it the way you need to. If you have to put it on the side of a house like that, you can do it that way. But however it needs to go, that kit is separate. And then this piece goes on an actual wall, and the bolt goes through the ball joint and then this mount there, so that goes through the middle of it before you put the end piece on, and bolts right into like a beam or something like that, and would hold it there for you. And that's a separate purchase as well. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. We'll show you how we connected this and move on from there. So this is the NanoBeam up close here. We got a pipe clamp holding on the Nano to this wall mount or roof mount, and this comes built in. This comes standard with the packaging. So everything you see here is in the box, and so the Nano screws on with this lock screw here. So you have to push this button to unscrew it and loosen it. If you don't push the button, you won't be able to turn that. You will be able to tighten it, and then it holds it so you're stuck. Now that's tight, that's not coming off. The ball joint sits in there, so you can adjust it this way if you loosen this and point it the way you need to. Use the leveler to get yourself just where you need to be. So we're going to loosen it just a little, level ourselves out, and then once the dot's where I need it to be, I lock it down. Now if I were going to put this on a wall or a beam, we would use this piece here that we talked about earlier. The bolt goes through the entire ball joint and then through this and into the wall. This piece slides right into these grooves right here. So it just holds it nice and snug and together. The PoE still comes, no matter what, into the bottom here, off this cover, and plugs in. So you will need a connection for PoE on both ends. The first unit would have your connection to your network, and the second unit is your connection to where you want your network to now be. So both ends get PoE and are powered. There is an injector that comes with it that we will look at later. Alright, to quickly access the Nano, you can follow the instructions and it will teach you how to set it up and how to power it on. But getting on the same network as it, you need to know the IP address, https://192.168.1.20, which it also gives you in the quick start guide. I have the injector hooked up straight to my computer. So the injector you plug in, and the PoE line you send to the Nano, which goes up and plugs in, and you get a power light on it. And then the LAN port you can send to your network. If you don't have a network set up and you just want to get it programmed, you can send that LAN cable straight up to your laptop. Well, but my laptop doesn't get an IP address from that. So you would log into your adapter settings and learn how to set a static IP address on your adapter in the same network as the Nano. Once you do that, you can type in and just talk to the Nano directly. And you don't need a switch or a network or anything like that. So you can do all of this without being plugged into your network and get it entered in and programmed. So we'll go through the programming. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to our network adapters. So I already had the screen open. I'm going to start over and I'm going to go down here to where my network adapters show. I'm going to right click it. I'm going to go to Open Network and Internet Settings. From here we can change our adapter set options. It's possible to get to this screen here from another source, so it doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get here. This is my Ethernet port, and I go to Properties, and on here I double click or click and go to Properties. Either one should open Properties, and you can statically set your IP of your TCP IPv4 address. So right now I have my address statically set, and if all I am doing is using this PoE injector, I can statically set the IP address right here. I don't have to go any further than that. I can type in the 192.168.1. whatever network, and it'll find it. So because I'm on my network already, this is the static IP of my computer on my network. So nobody come find me, please. And then we go to the advanced settings, and you can add an alias on that same network card. So this is where you do that. So we're going to add an alias, and the alias for this computer is going to be 192.168.1. And I can choose anything between 1 and 254 other than .20 to be on this. So I'm just going to pick a random number. I hit tab, and it fills in 255, 255, 255, 0 as the subnet mask for me. When I add that, and I hit OK, and then I hit OK again, now I am on both my local subnet and I'm on the subnet of the Nano. So I can be on both things at once. So once you're on the same network as the Nano, all you have to do is type in https:// 192.168.1.20. And it should pull up the Nano. There it goes. All right. The reboot seems to have brought it back up. All right. So now we type in 192.168.1.20. It pulls up the interface with camera. We accept any security risk, and the default username and password is UBNT. UBNT. You also have to select the country, otherwise it won't let you continue, and you also have to check the box. It says I have read and agreed to the terms and conditions. Once you log in, the first thing you want to do with any piece of technology is change the password, and that is done under System. So we're going to go to System, And system accounts, as username here, you hit the little magnifying glass. Current password, UBNT. New password, we're going to go test, with capital T, 2019, because that's the year, and an exclamation. That sounds nice. TST2019, exclamation. And change. Now, after you change that, it always throws an apply near the top somewhere. So you have to apply that. And sometimes this makes me relog, or it even does a reboot. So let's see if we can get right back into it or not. All right, it came back up and we are able to start navigating through it. All right, after the password has been changed, we want to check for updates. See, that's under System as well. This is where we change the password. Above that at the top here, you can check for updates. Hit check now in the bottom right corner. It shows no connection. Oh, because we're not on our local network. We still have the wrong network. So that's why you start these at a place where you have internet access, because this is an important part. You do need to update the firmware. So what we're going to do now is we're going to change the IP. So we're going to give it something on my local network, at least for this test network we got here. That's something that'll give it internet access. So we're going to put it on this network. Still the same subnet. And we'll give it Google DNS. Thank you, Google. And that should do it. So I changed that. Now, the nice thing about this, being on one single laptop with one single port that I have an alias for, I'm on both networks at the same time. So when I hit apply to change this static IP address, it will go through the process of applying it, rebooting it, and switching my browser from being on 192.168.1.20 and moving it to the address that I just changed it to. All right, here we are back from the reboot. I did have to hit the reload button to get it to pull up the that it was done. So the new username and password from before, test2019, and voila. Now, at this point, we should be on our local network. So before going forward, I want to say that if you do not have access to internet, if you do not have any of those options and you cannot update the firmware and you're ready to go and you're ready to configure, you do not need to do that last reboot and get on a local network or anything. You can start your next configuration right away. But if you do have local access to the internet, then you need to check for updates. So you go to System and check now. The bottom right corner, there we go. You have the latest available firmware version. And so it tells you if you have internet access or not. The last time it didn't, we changed the IP, rebooted, boom, now we have it. It tells us we're up to date, so we're good. If we weren't up to date, you'd click update, and there'd be a couple more steps. You'd just watch the screen and follow the prompts, and you'd be good to go. Now, to set up the first unit, this is the unit that is going to be connected directly, physically connected to your network and do the broadcasting. You go to wireless and you set the wireless mode to access point. So this guy's giving out a signal. We're going to hit the WDS button for transparent mode and we are going to give it a name. We're going to call it test. At the bottom, we're going to change it from no security to WPA2 AES with a pre-shared key. That pre-shared key is, I'll even show it here, it's going to be connect. 1, 2, 3. I tell that to change, and at the top here, I apply. So let's remember that. Let's connect. 1, 2, 3. Or hashtag. All right. At that point, when you set up those few settings, apply the settings, you're done with this unit. You move your computer and you go to your new location where your other unit's going to be, or if you're setting this up ahead of time like we are here, we set it up in a manner that you can connect it to the internet, go through, check for updates, change the password, everything that you just did on this first one, you do it again. And you get to the point where you're at your wireless tab. And this is the part that's different. Now, I've already done all of those things on the other one before we started so that we could move right along. We go to the second unit. This is the one that's now at your remote place where they don't have internet, and the only internet that they're going to have is the internet you provide through this wireless connection. And you log into it. So I gave it on its own address. I gave it the same username, test 2019, and this guy looks just like the first one. Well, the first one's over here. I'm going to remove these from each other. I'm going to put them side by side. The one on the right here is our new one. The first one we set up, and it's got the test network as an access point. The one that's going to receive the signal is set up as station. And then where it says SSID, you hit the word select. It is going to look for any signals given off in this area. And the one we're looking for is called test. And there it is, test. It even shows it as coming from a NanoBeam. And what we want to click is lock to AP. So this is going to lock that NanoBeam to this access point over here. Once you click lock to AP, it's going, wait a minute, what's the pre-shared key? Connect, 1, 2, 3, hashtag. Or if you prefer, pound sign. Once you hit change, then you apply the changes at the top, and that should be it for that one. Now, regardless if you're on the local network or not, like we are here, you can tell if this is working by going to the main screen. And on both of these tabs, if it's working, we will get a signal here, and it'll show us the quality. And it looks like after our last few changes that other Nano needs time to reboot. So we'll give it a couple minutes and we'll be right back. And there it goes. Alright, here we go. You can see over here, we've already started to get some quality signs. And so, yep, and the other side comes up and shows us its quality signs, and everything starts to settle out. So both Nanos, if you log into them and refresh the screen at any time, it should auto-populate as well, but will give you information of the two networks talking to each other. So the IP address on the second one, again, is just the IP that you chose. It still has the same gateway as the normal network and knows to hop across the wireless network to get out. So this should give your new location access to as many ports as you need, and it'll send it all wirelessly across back to the first station, which is actually what's hosting your internet access. So this works for cameras, this works for telephones, voice over IP technology, anything like that, Wi-Fi, just extending the network in general. But you can jump quite a distance with these. So if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. We're happy to do remote support or anything like that. To test this service, then you would go to the remote end from where you are, and you should be able to open up a command prompt, CMD,
and ping from one side to the other. You should be able to do something simple like google.com, and you'll get a reply back. And if you can log in to the switch that you've attached to your second unit, then you should be able to ping out to Google. That means everything's working just fine. You can do a speed test or anything like that. So, and thanks for checking us out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you need any help in the future, we're there for you.